Wiggly's Journey to a Kinder Tomorrow. In a meadow where the sky twirled with candy floss clouds, there lived a cheery caterpillar named Wiggly. His home, cozy under a daisy umbrella, was a bustling hub of giggles and leafy plays. Wiggly, only 7 years young, loved to wriggle and jiggle through his days, and his colorful stripes and soft fuzz were as merry as his nature. Yet, beneath the laughter, Wiggly struggled with a prickly problem. Sometimes his feelings would twist up inside like tangled ropes, and he would lash out, using his words like little darts, making others hurry away. This spiky behavior left him lonely, longing for the warmth of friendship that he so often pushed away. One sunny morning, Wiggly's friend Buzzy, a honeybee with golden fuzz and wings that hummed a happy tune, buzzed over. "You know, Wiggly," she said, her eyes sparkling, "lots of young bugs have moments when they feel like you do." Wiggly's heart felt heavy, but Buzzy's words were like a gentle breeze. Maybe I'm not the only one who gets tangled up inside, he thought. Buzzy shared a tale of a little ant who overcame his own sharp words. He found new ways to share what he felt, and you can too, she encouraged. Wiggly wished he could join in the leaf pile jumps without ending up in a tangle of trouble. "Just once, I'd love to play without turning into a storm cloud," he said, his voice a soft whisper. Deep inside, Wiggly felt a tiny spark of hope. "I think I can learn to be calm, like the stream that flows gently through our meadow," he whispered in his thoughts. The Rainbow Pebbles Melody. One day, as Wiggly and Buzzy zigzagged through the grass, they found a pebble that shimmered like a rainbow. Curious, they watched as the pebble sang a tune, revealing a message hidden within its song. "To mend broken friendships, seek the harmony stone," it sang. Another verse hinted of a meadow losing its laughter if the stone wasn't found. "Without friendship, the joy in our meadow will fade," the pebble's song hinted. Buzzy listened closely, then said excitedly, "It says we must find the harmony stone to repair the fabric of friendship." Wiggly felt a flutter in his belly. This journey might be the path to softening my spiky moments, he hoped silently. Hand in hand, or rather paw in wing, Wiggly and Buzzy set off on their quest. They traveled through the whispering grass, which moved to the rhythm of their excitement. "We're on a leafy adventure to find a stone that sings," Wiggly sang, his words lively with each hop. "Did you hear about the grasshopper who couldn't play the violin?" Buzzy joked, her laughter as sweet as honey. "He was always stringing everyone along." A crossroads and a mossy trail. Along their path, Wiggly felt a swirl of thoughts. What if I can't change? What if my spiky words slip out? But then he decided, no, I'll face this quest, even with my bristles. As the sun dipped, casting long shadows, they reached a crossroads. One path was lined with soft moss, the other with sparkling dewdrops. Unsure which way to go, they paused, looking for a sign. Suddenly, the pebble glowed warmly, its rainbow light dancing towards the mossy trail. "This way," Buzzy said, her voice as gentle as a bedtime story. With newfound confidence, Wiggly murmured, "Each step is a chance to grow, to become softer, like the fuzz on my back." His heart felt light as they followed the pebble's guiding glow, ready to untangle the knots inside and weave a tapestry of friendship on their quest for the harmony stone. Lessons in the glade. As the glow from the pebble faded, Wiggly and Buzzy found themselves at the edge of a beautiful clearing where the sun colored everything with golden light. The flowers nodded their heads as if to say, "Welcome," and the air was filled with the sweet perfume of nectar. "Look, Wiggly," Buzzy whispered, her voice as soft as the clouds above. "This place is like a cuddle from the sun." In the center of the clearing, a circle of stones circled a patch of velvety grass. A group of young crickets were playing a game, leaping from stone to stone. but one little cricket seemed sad, sitting away from the others. Wiggly felt a twinge in his heart. "Why isn't he playing?" he asked Buzzy. "He's like you sometimes, Wiggly," Buzzy replied. "He gets grumpy and says unkind things, so the others don't want him to play." Wiggly watched as the little cricket kicked a stone, his feelers drooping. "That's how I look when I'm grumpy," Wiggly thought. He went closer and sat beside the cricket. "Hello, I'm Wiggly. Want to talk about it?" he said. The cricket looked up, surprised. "I'm chirpy. I don't mean to be unkind. I just get angry, and then I'm all by myself," Chirpy said, his voice small and sad. Wiggly nodded, understanding. "I get like that too, but I'm learning to use nice words even when I'm upset," he explained. "Like please and thank you, and saying I'm sorry when I mess up." Chirpy's eyes brightened a little. "Really? Do you think that could help me too?" Buzzy smiled, her wings glimmering. "Why don't we try together?" she suggested. And so they did. Wiggly, Buzzy, and Chirpy played the hopping game, using kind words and laughing together. When Chirpy stumbled, he didn't get angry. Instead, he said, "Oops, my turn to laugh." And the others joined in, their laughter like a melody. With the game over, the clearing seemed to sparkle even more, and the special pebble in Wiggly's pocket gave a warm pulse. It had turned into a clear marble, reflecting the joy around them. Wiggly felt his heart swell with pride. "I'm learning to be kind," he thought. Marketplace mending. As the sun began to set, a firefly flickered nearby, and its light pointed towards a path lined with twinkling stars. "That's our way," Buzzy said, and together they followed the starry path. Their next stop was a busy market, where bugs of all shapes and sizes traded and chatted. The air was filled with buzzes of excitement, but it was also a place where feelings could get hot. Wiggly and Buzzy watched as a spider and a beetle disagreed over a swap. "I want to help," Wiggly said, feeling a pull in his heart. He remembered how he used to get irritated quickly, but now he wanted to make things better. Approaching the disagreeing pair, Wiggly offered a friendly greeting and suggested, "Maybe we could find a way where both of you are happy?" The spider and the beetle paused, thinking about Wiggly's words. The beetle then had an idea. "What if I add a bit of my finest thread to the deal?" he offered. "And I'll include an extra berry," the spider agreed, her 8 eyes twinkling. The deal was made, and both were happy. Wiggly beamed, feeling like he had helped weave a ribbon of peace through the market. As they left, the special object in his pocket transformed again, this time into a little bell that rang with a sound of harmony. Reflections at the pond. Their journey continued as they followed a trail of laughing fireflies, leading them to a peaceful pond. Here, dragonflies darted above the water, which mirrored the twilight sky. On a water lily, a frog sat alone, looking down. "Why so sad on such a beautiful night?" Wiggly asked the frog, who replied with a sigh. "I wanted to join the dragonfly dance, but I'm too jumpy and bumped into them. They asked me to leave." Wiggly knew this feeling very well. "Sometimes I get too excited and bump into my friends too," he admitted. "But I've learned to take deep breaths and slow down. Want to try it with me?" Together, Wiggly, Buzzy, and the frog took deep, calming breaths. The frog's jumps became gentle hops, and soon he was spinning with the dragonflies, a dance across water and air. The pond reflected their happiness, and the special object, now a tiny mirror, shone with the light of understanding. Prickle Patch's change of heart. As night deepened, they reached the edge of a dark thicket. Prickle Patch loomed ahead, his spikes casting long shadows. "Turn back," he growled, "or face my sharpness." Wiggly felt his old anger stir, but he took a deep breath. "We don't want to fight. We're looking for the Harmony Stone," he said bravely. Prickle Patch sneered. "Why should I help you?" Buzzy whispered to Wiggly. "Remember, we have the power of kind words." Wiggly nodded and spoke softly to Prickle Patch. "Because deep down, I think you want laughter and friendship, too." To their surprise, Prickle Patch's spikes softened. "You're right," he admitted. "I'm tired of being alone." Together they searched the thicket and found the Harmony Stone nestled amongst Prickle Patch's roots. As Wiggly touched it, the stone glowed, and a wave of peace washed over the meadow. Laughter returned, and even Prickle Patch smiled. The special object in Wiggly's pocket turned back into the rainbow pebble, its song now a chorus of unity. Wiggly felt a change within him, too. He had faced his anger and learned to be soft, to use words that healed instead of hurt. With the meadow filled with joy once again, Wiggly and Buzzy knew their adventure was over. A breeze whispered through the leaves, guiding them back home, where a new day waited, full of friendship and the promise of a kinder tomorrow. Homecoming and new beginnings. As Wiggly and Buzzy made their way home, the stars above sparkled like tiny lanterns, guiding them along the soft earth. "We did it, Buzzy! We found the Harmony Stone," Wiggly said, his voice bubbling with delight. Buzzy's wings fluttered happily. "Yes, we did. And you've grown so much, Wiggly. I'm proud of you," she replied, her eyes shining like moonbeams. When they arrived back at Wiggly's daisy umbrella, the meadow welcomed them with whispers of nighttime rustles. "It feels good to be home," sighed Wiggly, looking around at the familiar sights of the softly dancing grass and the snug corners between the flowers. "I'm not the caterpillar I was before this journey," Wiggly thought. "I've learned to be soft, to use my words to build up, not tear down. Hands are for helping, not hurting. I'm getting better at sharing, not shoving. Every day I choose calm over anger." The next day, Wiggly joined the other bugs for a game of leaf ball. He felt a tiny shake of his old ways when the game got lively, but he remembered his journey. "Take deep breaths, stay calm," he reminded himself. "Good move, Wiggly!" cheered a beetle, as Wiggly gently pushed the ball with his head. Wiggly grinned, enjoying the feel of the game and the happiness of playing fairly. He had really changed, and it was as simple as soaring on the wind. Now, Wiggly spent his days discovering, sharing, and chuckling with his pals. He and Buzzy started a kindness club, helping other young bugs who felt grumpy or upset. One sunny morning, Wiggly noticed a little ladybird looking unhappy. "What's wrong?" he asked, sitting beside her on a leaf. "I get so angry, I scare my friends away," she said, her spots seeming a bit dim. Wiggly nodded. "I used to feel that way too, but I can sort out problems without being mean. I choose to be nice. I use my words to say how I feel," he shared, his voice as soothing as a bedtime song. The ladybird listened, her spots getting brighter. "Really? Can I learn that too?" Wiggly smiled. "Of course. Let's begin with a happy word game. I'll say a kind word, and you say it after me." And so they played, the ladybird's giggles soon mixing with the sounds of the meadow's joyfulness. As Wiggly grew, his journeys took him far and near. He sorted out little battles with wisdom and patience, and his name for calm spread like the petals of a flower in bloom. Sometimes he'd feel the old rush of anger, but then he'd hear Buzzy's whisper like a hidden tune, reminding him of the power of nice words. Wiggly became a peace finder, a pal to everyone, his life a tapestry of happy days and gentle words. He even wrote a book of calming stories, his tales weaving into the hearts of the young and old. The once upset caterpillar transformed, not just into a stunning butterfly, but into a beacon of kindness, his wings carrying the songs of togetherness and affection. And when Wiggly spread his wings for the first time, the colors were not just a reflection of his adventures, but of his heart, bright, tender, and forever different. He soared above the meadow, a dance of joy and unity, his inner voice whispering, "I have triumphed. I am calm. I live my dream."